I define my life by what I do, not what I write. By that I mean to say, I don't typically take pride in my writing, so I'd rather take pride in my actions. I know that I am a writer, I just never considered myself a good one. I've never enjoyed writing because I find it tedious and would rather use the arts to express myself, like dance and music. But just like everyone, I've had a writing journey, and mine started when I was 3. When I was 3, my parents made me read the Bob books. There are these tiny little books, about 5 pages long, with a total of 20 words that are all 3 letters long. And while it doesn't seem like a big deal, it was the start of my entire literary life. And I was not a fan. I did not want to read. I was being forced into reading them with my babysitter. I hated it. When my parents decided to have children, they moved into one of the best public school districts in the state. Even though the schools in the district were great, that wasn't enough for them. Our home school was a typical elementary school in our town, but they wanted me to go to a different one. They wanted their children to have what they never could, the knowledge of 2 languages. Just like that, I was enrolled in a bilingual elementary school called Pioneer, and I was learning 2 languages instead of 1. This affected my writing in so many ways, and the fact that I never really learned it at a young age. I never learned English writing or how to do it. I was simply taught Spanish instead of my English. Half the time, I didn't even learn science or history in English. I also learned it in Spanish, which is why I loved math and science so much. Because no matter what language it was in, your answer was simply right or wrong. And math is the communal language of the world. I hated doing something that I couldn't be great at, and I was not great at English. So then we move on to middle school, where I learned everyone else already knows grammar. They know writing. They've been writing essays, poems, all these things I'd never learned before. And so I had to learn them twice as fast and not actually get taught them, but teach them to myself. And while this was a good period for me because I did learn how to do things on my own, I also was forced to do it so rapidly that I don't feel I ever developed the full skills that come along with writing, and I didn't find the enjoyment other people found. I simply found a way to write as quickly as possible in a manner that the teacher would accept, but wasn't necessarily my best. At this point, I'm basically sure that I could never love the English language the way some other people do. I wasn't going to be an English major. I wasn't going to be able to truly appreciate the language because I struggled so hard simply to learn it because I was behind other people. But this did lead me to the discovery of where I want to go now. I want to be a biomedical engineer. I want to change the lives of people using science and math and not have to write about it. In the 8th grade, I had my first English teacher that I actually loved. But the thing is, he didn't actually teach me much English. He taught me about the world. And he taught me so many relevant things about today and the past. And I feel like I learned more from him than any other English teacher, but I still don't know if I learned English. In high school, writing became a thing I did as quickly as possible. I simply wanted to get it over with. I wanted to do it. I followed the formula. I did exactly as I was told on my analysis papers, on my history papers, and then as soon as I was done, I stopped thinking about it. I didn't think about how I could improve. I just wanted it to be over as quickly as possible, which leads me to where I am today. While I think my writing is okay and it follows the constraints that the world wants it to, It's definitely not my best, but I don't really want to work to improve it because I know I'll never be great.